Welcome to my mastectomy memoirs. The highs, the lows, and the quite honestly horrific, not right now, the horrific hairstyles of mastectomy recovery for a 31-year-old woman. I had a prophylactic bilateral mastectomy with an immediate reconstruction with silicone implants over the muscles. In layman's terms, that means two surgeons came along, scooped out all my breast, all the tissue in my breast, my nipples, threw it in the bin. They didn't actually, they did a biopsy and tested the tissue. And then they put an immediate silicone implant above the muscle straight away. So they left the skin behind and slotted that right in, and then they stitched me up the front. You can have a look at a photo a little bit later on the vlog. This operation is still relatively new and it's supposed to have a much easier and painless recovery compared to under the muscle and expanders. The operation itself took about 3 to 4 hours, I hear. I don't know, I can't remember it. I was out for the count. I was scuba diving in Indonesia at the time because they told me I could go anywhere, and that's where I decided to go. So I came off the anaesthetic. I lost about 4 hours of my life just like in a complete daze. The first night, I didn't take my camera into hospital, but the first night of recovery was quite hard, but mainly because they're coming, taking your obs, you're not really sleeping. For some reason, they're hoovering the theatre next door at 3 AM and banging the hoover on the door, so I didn't sleep much. They took me off the morphine after about 12 hours because I'm such a badass, but really it's because I nearly fainted and my blood pressure was low and I'm only 52 kilograms, so they then prescribed me one paracetamol 12 hours after a double mastectomy. But honestly, the pain wasn't that bad. I know I still had loads of drugs in my system, but if I sat still, it didn't really hurt at all. It was mainly when I was up and down and moving. My first day was spent in hospital, didn't really care what I looked like, I was just happy to be alive. And then they released me. Just over 24 hours after my mastectomy. 6 slices of white bread, 1 macaroni cheese and 1 portion of mashed potato, and I was free to go. Could not believe it. I thought I'd be in there for like 4 days, and I frolicked very slowly and steadily in my gym jams out of hospital to be home, and that's where my recovery really started.
I'm home 2 days after my operation, and this is what I look like. So I've got my mastectomy bra on. I won't undo it completely. I've got some kind of fancy compression thing in here attached to this little thing which keeps going bzzz. I've got my drains which are coming out. Nobody knows what is draining. Could be my Ribena from yesterday. Lots of gloop in there. So I'm feeling alright actually. If I don't move, it's not sore at all. I feel a little bit like a T-Rex, so I can't really reach very far. But other than that, I'm feeling alright. It is 3 days post-mastectomy and I'm sitting at the table like a big girl. Just had a healthy lunch. Managed to have a little wash earlier with help from my cat and my boyfriend. Haven't washed the hair yet, so looking pretty awful. And I think the biggest challenge at the moment is these bad boys. I'm trying not to trip over them. So I could kind of use them as skipping ropes if I wanted to. They're just a bit of a pain. In terms of pain, not a huge amount. So I'm really just on ibuprofen and paracetamol, a little bit of codeine at night to help me sleep. So pain isn't that bad. I'm a little bit short of breath. I think that's because they vacuum packed my chest.
Hello. Hi. Oh, it's 5 days post-mastectomy. I set that vlog camera up by myself and it's definitely a bit pissed. I've just been to hospital. I've had my drains out.
How does it feel?
So weird.
Yeah, it's not painful, it's just a funny feeling.
5 days, I can stand up, I can sit down, I dress myself. I did my own hair, brushed and plaited, not been washed for nearly a week. Pain, 0 at the moment. A little bit short of breath still, but that's because I've been vacuumed. Other than that, I feel absolutely fantastic. I'm so relieved. I can't believe 5 days after having a double mastectomy I feel this good. But I'm going to put my joggers back on and get back into bed because I'm a little bit sleepy after my day trip out. A terrible thing just happened to me.
after I so smugly recorded that last video, and I went to the toilet, and as I was sitting on the toilet, boyfriend had gone out the house, left me alone unattended, and the postman came. And I was so smug that I'd worn skinny jeans. I managed to get in my skinny jeans, but I couldn't get back in them when I was sitting on the toilet, and I was screaming, I'm coming, I've had a mastectomy. And I couldn't get them up, I couldn't get them down. Eventually, after a lot of pulling and pushing, I went down there with no trousers on, one sock, and I opened the door and he was gone. So lesson for everybody, don't wear skinny jeans 5 days after a mastectomy.
Super funky Jimmers! Tigers in garlands, sexy. Day 6 after mastectomy. First washed the hair this morning. First time in a week really. I didn't do it myself, boyfriend had to do it, and he has left a little bit of conditioner in there, so it's still a bit greasy, but it was really good to do. Feeling fine. I would really recommend at this stage to look at my video prehab with Joe Willie, just at the sort of core exercises you can do before mastectomy, because I'm starting to notice my tummy muscles are hurting and my back's hurting a little bit, legs are hurting a bit, just because I'm having to use them so much more than I normally do. Having to do some sumo squats to pick things up the floor at the moment, so looks a bit strange. And yeah, you really use your tummy muscles to be able to sit up, because you just can't push up with your hands. So really recommend watching that and just getting some ideas about sort of exercises you can do to prepare. What day is it? 8? Day 8. Week plus 1 day. The most annoying and painful thing at the moment is wearing this mastectomy bra. Bear in mind I haven't taken it off really at all. Maybe like a couple of times for 10 minutes max. So it's been on and I just feel like it's really digging into my ribs. I've had to create this thing here. That's a really fancy bed sock that my friend got me as a present, and I'm having to use it to buffer the pain of the mastectomy bra. This is a mastectomy bra, really comfy, from M&S. It's really great. It's like 4 inches too big for me already, and it still feels like it's digging in my ribs. Also, this thing, my fancy compression bandage, has run out of batteries, which I knew would happen. They last a week, and it's getting replaced in a couple of days. But I'm not vacuumed anymore, and I'm starting to feel pains that I didn't have, so like round the sides and under the armpits and kind of like underneath as well. So the pain kind of feels in the last couple of days like it's gone up a little bit and not down, which is frightening me a little bit. And then 2 days time I'm having the bandages removed, and I'm starting to feel a bit more nervous about what I'm going to look like. I think the first week you're just so relieved to be out of hospital and getting your drains removed, and you just kind of get swept up in it all, that you don't think maybe about how you're going to look. And now I'm feeling a lot better and more myself, and I'm scared about my titties. I start to get little, I call them phantom nipple pains. You know, like when people lose a limb and they get phantom limb syndrome. It's not actually phantom nipple pains, it's just where my nipples used to be. I think it's where the scars are, or maybe my nipples are coming back to haunt me. I had my first little sad today, day 9, and I've been doing really well. I haven't cried, not that there's anything wrong with crying, but today I just had a single tear down my face. And I guess partly everything's been going so well, really well, and I know the reasons why I've gone downhill a little bit, and it's because I'm doing more, I'm not taking as much medication, painkillers, and my compression bandage has run out of battery. So all these 3 things is going to cause me more pain. But it's just the anxiety of it. It just feels, suddenly I'm thinking, oh my god, I'm in more pain and I haven't felt like this, and am I going to lose my boobs? Is there an infection? Am I going to have antibiotics? It's just complete anxiety and paranoia of not knowing what's going to happen. On the flip side, left the house and got my Christmas nails put on. So I'm really happy about that. Got dressed today, put a little bit of makeup on. But yeah, just feeling a little bit anxious. It is Christmas Eve, woohoo! And 11 days post mastectomy. Yesterday was a bad day. Actually, my first bad day really that I've had. Everything was going really well. Everything still is going really well. But it was the first time I saw my reconstructed breasts I've had that Pico dressing on, you know, my vacuum pack for, well, 10 days, and the plan was to remove it yesterday and have it replaced. But it had these massive white pads over my breasts basically, so I couldn't really see what they looked like. So they were removed and it was just such a shock. I don't think anything can prepare you for that. Looking at your body and not seeing your own body, and looking at your reflection and thinking that those aren't my boobs, that's not my chest, that's not what they look like. I haven't got any nipples. They're very lumpy because they haven't settled yet, and they're bruised. My scar clearly, or obviously, would not have healed yet, but it's quite big. They just kind of look like they've been through the war, which they have. And I knew all of this. My surgeon really prepared me for this, and he said, you're not going to be happy with it, they're not your boobs, I'm going to remove your boobs and replace them with something that's not you. So he really prepared me as much as he could mentally, but it was still, I don't know, it was still such a shock. I felt so numb, literally numb, like I can't feel anything there. So it felt like a bit of a low day, and I cried quite a lot, which I haven't done yet. So I know it's really important process. A part of grieving and healing is crying. It was just like the floodgates opened. I've controlled them. They've gone back in again. Today is a good day. I think the highs and the lows, it's like this roller coaster of emotions going through this. I put something on Instagram, which you can have a look at some pictures on Instagram. They're allowed on there because they are nipple-less. But the comments, oh, just read those comments. So lovely, lovely people in this world have completely lifted me up off the ground and made me feel more positive. And loads of people private messaged me, so thank you so much. And this is why I'm doing this. So hopefully I can help others with their journey. Today's a good day. Hair got washed, makeup got put on, and do you want to see my cleavage? Of course you do. How good is that? OMG. If I looked down at my body right now with this cleavage in this top, I would have no idea that I'd had a mastectomy. 11 days later, I would look down and I honestly would not have a clue. Pain, very minimal. I can make myself a cup of tea, which is all I need to get me through the day. So, good day. And it's Christmas tomorrow, so yay! It is Christmas Day! Yay! And 12 days since mastectomy. On the 12th day of Titmas, Santa gave to me 2 new titties and a mastectomy. Happy Christmas, everybody. I'm feeling absolutely fantastic. I got my lipstick back on. I'm about to have a huge feast. I've drunk a lot of Bucks Fizz and I'm feeling on top of the world and very much alive. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, honestly, please contact me. It's best through Instagram, but I'm more than willing to share more photos or contact anyone who's going through similar situations. If you want to know more about my recovery, I've got the next stages coming up in a different video. If you want to know why I've had a mastectomy, I've got videos about that as well. But please contact me and share my channel, subscribe, like my vids. Lots of love!